Good morning, guys. I see you all look refreshed. Wonderful. Um, I'm going to be covering learning from the past generation. And in my little spiel, I'm going to give y'all a quick little history lesson. I'm going to cover our challenges faced as a people, our technological advancements and achievements as a people, and our lessons learned as time goes on. Y'all ready? So the first scripture I'm gonna give to y'all is Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. And it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. So when you think about us as black people and a nation, you think of all of the things that we had to go through in order to get to the point where we are now. We've had to put up with institutionalized racism. We've had to put up with slavery. We've had to put up with, everything, segregation. We've had to put up with racism. We've had to put up with social inequity just simply because of the color of our skin. But we were granted the grand gift of perseverance as a race, and we have been through so much, but our faith in God has been what's concrete to keep us through and keep us carrying on all of this time. Like the song says, I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. And you can take it in all facets. You could take that in your career. You could take that into your personal life. You could take that into your finance life. Like, don't let anybody turn you around from what you're supposed to be on this earth doing. Like, I'm pretty sure all of us had a personal talk with God and figured out what it is that we want to be our ministry. And so it's with that we have to look back at the past and see how the people, the innovators, the greats, the ones that did it before us, we have to observe them first and see how they did it so that we can have a schematic for our own. And so just to run down the list, we went down through slavery, segregation, discrimination, but we've also had prominent individuals throughout history to keep us going on, giving us that. We've had Harriet Tubman, like who? Yes. We've had Harriet Tubman. We've had people touch on Rosa Parks. We've touched on who else was covered? Yes. And so throughout all of that, we have evidence that we can make it through because we're still standing here. And when we look back on all of that time, I just wanted to get all of the challenges faced out of the way because a lot of us like to amplify that situation. We were like, okay, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't got it all together. I'm not just not. And here we are sitting in comfort while a whole generation before us were being discriminated against, beat up, pushed through rage, dragged through whatnot. But they still had the perseverance and the faith, the attitude. They didn't go on without a little bit of flair to do what their purpose was. We've had lots of technological advancements and achievements during that time, too. We've had innovations such as the cotton gin by Eli Whitney, the Traffic Signal by Garrett Morgan, which incidentally got my last name. We might be kin a little bit. But Ironing Board by Sarah Boone, The Super Soaker by Lonnie G. Johnson. But it doesn't have to stop with inventions and innovations. If you work in a specific field and you find that your skills and talents amplify whatever the environment is or the atmosphere around you, then that means that you're doing God's work. Even still, you can be sitting here doing just your regular 24/7 job, and you say something to somebody, and you turn around, you make a whole impact. You change the world. You don't know the gravity at which you hold and how much power you have, how much influence you have to give people just that extra push that they need. And so, from that, I'm also going to touch on Katherine Johnson. I know we all seen Hidden Figures, right? We've seen all of the struggles that they had to go through, and of course, we don't like relive them. We hear them all the time, especially when this time of year comes around, right? But what we will take from this month moving forward is all of the advancements that we have come through as a people. We've contributed so much to society, and we have to take back our credit. Our lessons learned from the past generation would be that of tenacity, that of grace, that of power, that of excellence, that of knowledge, intelligence, that is of perseverance. Of all of that, we need to take from the last generation. We need to continue to work towards a more just and equitable society. And in order to do that, we have to take our lessons learned from the past generation seriously enough so that we can inspire the future generation. And so we've talked about the challenges faced, talked about the technological advancements and achievements, talked about the social stuff too, because we were able to get a lot done, but there is still work to be done. And to conclude everything, I want to say that time is relative. So technically, the past could be a minute ago, it could be 30 seconds ago, it could be last week. So the point is, we're making history now. What are you going to do?
Good morning. Hi. Okay, I'm ready. Great job, James. You killed it. My topic. Well, I did just want to say one thing that I think stuck with me, that'll kind of carry on into what we were going to talk about for what I had, um, was just being able to identify, I guess, the comfort that we're in now, because it wasn't the same as what it was before. We are living a completely different life. Well, I am. I can't say that for a lot of people, but we are living a completely different life. A lot of things are very different and easy, I would say, for me. Different challenges, of course, but very easy. So I do want to just appreciate the generations before me for striving and pushing and going forward and being obedient. I think that's one thing or one word I just want to keep in mind for this duration of my time of being up here. So mine is present. I get it now, applying the lessons. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really get it for real. I still got some questions, okay? Some stuff I don't really get yet. But one of the points that I wrote down was breaking through the barrier, being different, breaking outside of the box of the norm. Living in the present means being mindful and fully engaged in the current moment rather than dwelling on the past and worrying about the future. So I also wrote down, on the other hand, our generations face many of numerous challenges, such as economic instability, political polarization, climate change, systematic racism, identity crisis. The list literally goes on. These issues can make up an individual to fully not be able to engage in the present moment and appreciate where they're at in the moment that they're in. And I think going through doing my research through the week, I was trying to find people who I thought were inspirational in the generation that I am in now in this present time. So one person that I found was Naomi Osaka. She's a professional tennis player. She's an activist who is used to help her platform raise awareness for racial injustice and police brutality. She has a vocal in her support in the Black Lives Matter movement, and she is a social media advocate for change. Another lady is Marley Diaz. She's an activist and author as well. She started this campaign called 100 Black Girl Books, who, with their aim towards the representation of Black girls and Black children, teaching children literature. And she also wrote her own books about being a woman a Black woman in the environment or the community that we're in at this moment. Another lady that I have is also Amanda Gorman. She is a young poet. She is nationally known for her poem called "The Hill Will Climb." At the presidential inauguration in 2021. Her words are powerful. Her message inspired many people, especially in the Black community. So the scripture that I wanted to tap into today is James 1:22. I'm going to just read it. So it's 1:22, 22 to 25, and I'll just read it for you guys. So it says, "But prove yourselves doers of the word, actively and continually obeying God's purpose, and not merely listeners who hear the word but don't fail and internalize its meaning, dwelling yourselves by unsound reasoning contrary of the truth. For if anyone who only listens to the word without obeying it, he is like a man who looks very carefully at his natural face in the mirror. For once he has looked at himself and gone away, he immediately forgets what he looked like, but he looks carefully into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and faithfully abides by it, not having to become a careless listener who forgets, but an active doer who obeys. He will be able to be blessed and favored by God in what he does in his life of obedience. So the reason I chose that scripture is because I think now is a time where we just have to be obedient. It's literally as simple as that, where we just have to get active, get doing it, do whatever God told us to do. A lot of times I think we're not able to be present or be able to listen to God or hear him, or we feel so stuck in the past, or we feel like we're trying to race to get to the future is because we can't hear what God is saying to us, or we can't internalize or really just set in and say, hey, God, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to actually do it instead of trying to run away from it and figuring out why is the past like this or why is the future like this instead of worrying about where I am in this moment right now. The point that I had also was um, you can't change the past. And you can't predict the future. The only thing that you can do is control what's in the present moment, which is in this time right now. Being in the living moment and work and watching it transform will be so life changing. A thought, a dream, a desire is only that if you don't take action. So be present, be on purpose, and walk in change and impact. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. A little deep, huh? It's a little deep, little bass, little bass. But my topic is future. What will I share with the next generation? What will I bring to the table? Um, to start, I'll start with the scripture in the Bible by Jeremiah. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you," declares the Lord. The plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. So the future is something that is real. It's not much relative. It's not necessarily relative as it's perceived to be. It is something that is going to take place. It's just the setting, the scene is the unknown. It's to be forecome. It's to forecome. It's later it will appear. You just don't know necessarily where you will be, what you'll be doing in the future, but it is real. And it says future, a definition of the future, the time or a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing, time regarded as still to come. So that means that it is real, it is there. We just can't see it. We won't be able to touch it until that time, until it's work or words spoken or words written down to stamp the time, making it official. So if you look around, everyone in here has a different future. It's all different, but we are sharing the present and we are sharing the past. So a little bit about the future. What is the future and how do we affect the future? Okay. Uh, okay. So the future pretty much is they typically people tell you that there's nothing new under the sun, but something that is new and very much alive is AI, artificial intelligence. It's every day. It's on your cell phone, Siri. If you got Alexa at home or anything like that, it's that's artificial intelligence, and it is the wave. It is the I guess it's the leader of the future. It is the future, sort of say, but it's the world's future. It's not our future. So your future, I want to let you know today, your future is determined pretty much on understanding your past, eliminating some threats, and picking up picking up some positivity to lead you in, some understanding, some knowledge to carry you on into your future, to have a better and prosperous future, like the Lord intended you to have. And in Jeremiah when He said it. So the future and us together coexist. We are the future, literally. What we do, what we put out in the present will lead to the future that we live, that the world will live, that our children will live in. Um, our thoughts are the future. When we gather them within ourselves and we take them and we spread it out into reality, it becomes the future. So your thoughts are the future, making you the future, because you are your thoughts. Okay. We use our past to build a future, making it present. The past makes the future present. So you can go into your future, and it might not be new to some of us. It may be the old, it may be the past. You may be living your future in the past. And that wouldn't necessarily be good, because would it really be a future? It really wouldn't be. It'd be literally the past, the same thing you're doing over and over, carried on into a later date. Something that you didn't know you would be doing, but because you didn't take the steps to eliminate some threats. Like let's go over some threats to your future. Okay, a few threats to your future is artificial intelligence. Like I spoke about, it creates laziness. Uh, it helps you. It helps you. It keeps you from thinking for yourself. Sort of, let's put it like that. It keeps you from thinking for yourself, coming up with decisions, making your own decisions. Another threat to our future is what is another threat to our future? I have it on here. I'm finding it real quick. A threat to our future is dishonesty, not being honest with ourselves, not recognizing some of our faults and carrying them on into the future, still realizing that we haven't made any steps, we haven't made any progress. Um, undecisiveness. Undecisiveness is a threat to our future. Being unable to decide what you want now will determine your future, will determine how you live out your future. So some good things you want to add to your understanding of where you're going in life is that unity, finding unity within yourself and amongst others is a way to be prosperous in your future. Love is your future. Our violence against one another is the threat. Eliminating our violence and bringing in more love is your future. Showing gratitude is your future. Going around not showing gratitude, not being thankful is a threat to your future. Generational wealth and generational favor is a generational wealth and generational favor is your future. Finding generational wealth, you doing that in the present. You gather all of that in the present and you carry it on into your future, creating generational favor for your offspring, for the rest of the future. And I finish up with one more scripture. It says in Matthew, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." I want to let you know that rest is your future. It doesn't mean that you sit idle, you don't do anything, you're not doing anything or nothing like that. Rest is the peace, the comfort, the understanding that everything is working in your favor, not against you, because you have eliminated the threats to your future. You have thrown away the unpositive ways, your negative ways, and realizing that through God, through Jesus Christ Himself, that your future will be hopeful, prosperous, and better. It will be real. It will become fulfilling. It will be something that you can touch. And so that's all I have for you today. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.